AOA podcast back for another show. Frankie C's in the house. What up, big dog?
What is happening?
Here's what's happening on this episode. Donald Trump and the Trump trial. You know, the accusations with Miss Carroll, E. Jean Carroll.
Yeah, it's not good.
The deposition and everything. Not great.
Well, it's not great for him.
Doesn't look good for him.
No.
And that's according to a lot of Republican outlets that are reporting these stories too. So
we'll go. We'll go over it.
We'll go over it. The Biden administration. It always seems like when the Biden administration has a leg up, they do something really stupid to put themselves back behind the 8 ball.
What happened now?
They suspended the Post from attending one of their press conferences.
Well,
That might seem innocent, but I want to explain all the backstory.
okay.
We'll get into that. Mr. Beast, huge mega YouTube sensation, has kind of a precarious living situation.
Is he living with live crocodiles?
That wouldn't be that precarious if you ask me. That would be expected of a millionaire YouTuber who sensationalizes everything.
Okay.
But this one's a little weird. And finally, we a year ago, we lost Ray Liotta, give or take a month. And we finally know what the cause of death was there. So we'll talk about all that and more on this episode. There might be more.
But will it be less?
The more is why our friendship's falling apart, why you're in a different location. We have some more.
Why are our friendships falling apart? What are you talking about?
Well, you know, it's over. I shouldn't say falling apart. I should say it's over.
It's over? What am I even doing on this show then? What is happening? Why am I not aware of this?
It's been proven. I feel like everybody knows, but maybe you're the last one to catch on. So we'll talk about that too.
What order? What, I have to know. I have to be prepared for this.
We'll put it at the end.
I gotta wait until I have to wait to the end of these stories to figure out if our 30-year friendship is coming to an end.
Well, I mean, we were talking about it pre-show. You already kind of know the reason, you know. So,
What?
all right, Trump and the Trump trial.
Trumpy Trump. Tell me, buddy.
What I find interesting about this particular story is, you know, and this kind of exploded. I feel like over the weekend, this was a big trending thing. Friday going into the weekend, where during the E. Jean Carroll trial, they played the famous Access Hollywood tapes.
Right.
The, you know, grab them by the.
Right.
And that is really not playing well for Trump in this whole process, which is such an interesting thing to me because we've all known about that for the longest time. Yeah. Now, for people who are
to hurt him getting elected.
For people who are unfamiliar, E. Jean Carroll claims that President Trump assaulted her in the mid-90s.
Raped her.
Yes. And then defamed her after she wrote publicly about it in her 2019 book. She is suing him. So this is a civil case. There's no chance for the former president to be going to prison here. The what do they call that?
Why is it a civil case? Why isn't this a? I mean, it's a pretty serious accusation, no?
Correct, but the statute of limitation has expired on this.
So as long as you can get away with it for a certain amount of time, then you're off the hook?
Correct.
Got it. Okay. That seems fucked up. But okay. I mean, what the fuck are we doing here?
That's dynamite legal analysis, by the way.
I mean, has anybody sat down and looked at that and said, well, he's gotten away with it for this long. I mean, why bring it up now? I mean, it seems silly.
Yeah.
What the fuck? What are we doing?
I'm just saying this is why podcasts are exploding and cable news is imploding, because you don't tune into CNN and go, well, that seems fucked up, Jim. I don't it's like
I mean, if I was on a panel on CNN, I'd be like, what? So he could get away with that as long as he ducks the law for a certain amount of time, then it's fine. It's no longer illegal.
It is kind of fucked up, yeah. I think the statute of limitations. Actually, let me think about this statement before I make it. I feel like it was put in there to prevent false accusations. Because I can't think of another reason on why you would put
Well,
statute of limitations on assault cases.
yeah, if something happened, why would bringing it up? What does the timing have to do with bringing it
There's
up?
some reason for it. I mean, it's not just,
I feel
I
like it's
mean,
just. It doesn't seem. I don't know. I don't know
yeah, I don't know.
why that's a thing.
What's
Okay.
interesting though is all the Epstein stuff. The statute of limitations on those things were like extended and expanded, and like so there was some exceptions made in those particular instances. I think trafficking is a bit of a different situation, although both horrible things to have happen to you.
Yeah. I
Um,
mean, so so there's an actual statute of limitations for trafficking, and they just pushed it back.
there was, and yeah, and it got. I think because of everything that was going on with Epstein, some smart people got together and was like, we need to, we need to figure this out. Because I
Did
mean,
they ever, did they ever stop and go, why do we even have this statute? What are you
I
talking about?
well, I don't. To answer your question, I don't think they got that far.
They
No,
didn't get that far. They stopped. Just
I don't
short of
think
that.
so.
Got
I
it.
don't think so. Because I think the thought is what's to stop somebody from saying? I think I could be wrong. I think because you have X amount of time where physical evidence expires, that
Well, it says there's DNA. Is it? How do you know that? Like, there's tapes. There's what? It depends on the evidence.
I guess so.
A videotape can last forever, or whatever it is. I don't know. All right, I'm obviously not gonna. We're not gonna change the law on this podcast, but
No, but I'd love to get you on CNN so you could just be on the panel and be like, "That sucks, Wolf."
yeah, that's some bullshit there, Wolf. I don't know. I don't know who put that one together, but everybody just kind of took the day off, except that one person, and went, you know what? Fucking writing this in.
Yeah,
And
it
we all
seems
just
really
went,
strange.
I guess I don't understand, but all right.
Mm. So anyway, so they had one of the witnesses come to the stand, and she was essentially testifying and telling her story because it's not just E. Jean Carroll. There are two other women that have accused Trump of the same or similar activity, and they trying to talk in. I'm trying to talk in code because my 5-year-old daughter just wandered into the studio.
Yeah, try to replace words with other
Yeah.
non-adult words.
Anyway, there were two other women that were saying the same thing, and during one of the women's testimonies, she was up there crying on the stand, describing what Trump had done to her, and that is the moment where they decided to play the Access Hollywood tapes, but not just the tapes. They played Trump being deposed, being played the tape. So they played the Access Hollywood tape for him in the deposition,
Right.
and then he responded to it, and his response was really not that great. I mean, you have to have a special tolerance for patience to be Donald Trump's lawyer because he really doesn't go along with the typical.
Yeah, shut your mouth and stop saying stupid shit.
Yeah, so like during a deposition, like lawyers will tell you, you can say yes, you can say no, and you can say I don't recall. You do not say anything else. And that's typically what a lawyer will tell you going into like a deposition. Like, there's no reason to say anything else. Do not elaborate. Don't talk more. Don't add where you don't have to.
Yeah, he tends to ad lib. He goes off script. He does it. You could tell he does it in his speeches. He just goes off, the teleprompter, and then whenever he veers from the prompter, he puts his foot in his mouth.
So, and then he's up there going, well, they're like, they play the tape for him and they're like, did you say this? And he's like, yeah. And they're like, what do you mean by that? And he's like, well, fortunately, or, he said, unfortunately, or fortunately, this is the way celebrities are treated. Like they can do these things. And I'm just watching it going, what? What did he say? What did you say?
You could hear all his lawyers just slapping their faces.
Their foreheads. Yeah. So
like,
makes
no, that's not an excuse to do those things. No.
Makes it a tough thing. But it's an interesting thing because, like you said, like that tape came out pre-election, didn't matter. You look at all the other times that tape has kind of come to the forefront of the news again, hasn't really mattered.
It hasn't mattered in his supporters' eyes. But now that he's in legal trouble,
Yeah.
it'll
And
matter that way. I
we're
guess.
jumping the gun because we're yet to see if it really does matter. But again, you can look at the New York Post, you could look at Fox News, you could look at all the typical right wing outlets and how they're reporting on this story now. And they're all talking about the fact that it doesn't bode well for him. It doesn't make him look great, obviously. But even things in the past that haven't made him look great, you know, in this instance, they're kind of saying, like, if you lose a civil case regarding rape, that's a really tough sell for independents that are like, his base is not going anywhere ever.
Right.
But for the independents that are kind of like, I'm tired of Biden. I don't think Biden's doing anything. Biden's sleeping through everything. I think Biden is dead and this is somebody else. This feels like Weekend at Bernie's Biden, all those people.
Right.
They might stick with the current sleepwalker, not to go over to not to go with the rapey guy.
Now,
because, and here's the here. Okay, I'm sorry.
No, go ahead.
But just to put a cap on it, I think the difference is you're talking about a jury of his peers, fairly chosen by both sides, both lawyers, coming to the conclusion that this guy did this, which I think is why it's worse.
No, you could talk about that all you want, but he will get up on stage or wherever, and he'll get in front of a mic and he'll go, "It was an unfair trial. They were all against me. They picked the lawyers, were everybody,
of course,
the judge. It was all rigged, and of course they're going to find me guilty. I had to pay it. What am I supposed to do? It's a rigged system." And he's gonna play the victim card again.
Of course,
that's his playbook.
But I think that only plays to his base. I don't think that plays to his independents.
How many if you haven't decided where you stand on Trump by this point, what are you waiting for? What's the, well, I have to see what he does about this. It's like, what are you waiting on? What hasn't he shown you about himself that you're waiting on? You're on the fence about him. You know, what's gonna sway you to one side or the other that he hasn't already done? It's been nonstop for the past 6-7 years with this guy. And I feel like we got a pretty good idea of who he is. So I don't know what is gonna, what magic story is gonna come out about him saving a bus full of nuns or something. You're not gonna get that. I'm sorry. It's just we know the guy. It's it. This is him. You got all the information you're gonna get. If you don't know him by now, then I don't know what you're waiting for.
Well, I mean, and I think it's interesting to see what the implications are going to be, because if you don't have a Fox News backing you, if you don't have, a who's the bow tie guy? Tucker. If you don't have a Tucker backing you, like, you'll always have Hannity. But if you don't have these things swaying those people, it's going to be brought up a lot more, and it's not going to be something that's going to be, easily defended, I don't think.
He still has his people in media that'll support him. Even Tucker may be gone from Fox, but he'll end up somewhere. People will still find him, seek him out, I think.
We'll see if it's in time. But again, I do find it interesting that video never really played until now, and it's like now, like, the way they positioned it all is
which video?
The Access Hollywood video is pretty interesting.
We've seen that a million
times.
What,
the grab up by the pussy thing?
Yes, thank you.
That came out before he was elected. What are you talking about?
But I'm saying it didn't do anything. It didn't sway the election. It hasn't but you played
said we
hard.
haven't seen it till now. We've seen it.
We haven't seen it play in the room. Like, we haven't seen it like really affect him.
Oh, I thought you meant we haven't seen the tape. I was like, yeah,
I know. Yeah, this time I think it might be, I don't know, it might be one too many for this
maybe
this video from a billion years ago. I also find it interesting that
there's no statute of limitations on that video.
No, I found it interesting that they don't have him in the courtroom.
He didn't testify. It was just that they just played the deposition. He didn't go under oath.
Yeah,
well, he was under oath for the deposition.
For the deposition,
right? Yeah, but he wasn't on a witness stand.
Yeah, I don't know what that's. I mean, is that, again? I don't want to look at this from a skewed perspective, but if your own lawyers don't want you there to defend yourself, to be called I mean, it seems.
Yeah, and I feel like isn't it like you have a right to face your accuser? Isn't that the whole thing?
This is not.
It's him. It's him. Yeah, he would have the right to face his accuser.
Yeah,
I get it. It's not. Well,
this is civil. This is not legal.
It's still. It's so fucked up. What about did you see the part with when they asked about the photograph of E. Jean Carroll?
I didn't. Whether or not he was her type or something.
Right. You saw the whole thing?
I don't know if I saw the whole thing. Good.
Okay. Well, he's showing a picture, an old photo from what, however many years ago, 30 years ago, whatever it was. I don't know the number, but it's a picture of him, and she's in the photo as well. And before that picture was shown to him, he goes, "Oh, this E. Jean Carroll, she's not my type," And they go over it a million times. Not your type physically. She's saying you're not interested in her. Blah 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 blah. He goes, "Yeah, not my type, not my type." He said it under deposition and also, a million times on stage, whatever, for his crowd. And then he gets this picture. It's him and like 3 or 4 other people in the picture. E. Jean Carroll's one of them, and he points to her and goes, "Oh, that's who's one of his wives? What was her name?
Ivanka?
No, keep going.
Marla Maples.
Marla." He goes, "Oh, there's Marla." And he wasn't unprompted. Nobody asked him to identify anybody in the picture. He just looks at the picture and goes, "That's Marla." And they go, "Who's Marla?" And he points, and he goes, "No, that's E. Jean Carroll." "Oh, I thought it was that looked." So he's like, "So you identified the woman you thought the woman in the picture
was his
your
wife,
but it was E. Jean Carroll."
They dropped the ball. Then they should have said, "Is she your type?"
This is what they said.
They did.
Yeah. They said so. Presumably, your wives, the 3 women you married, are your type. It's because you married them. You would marry your type. And he goes, "Yeah." And then like the video, they didn't show the rest of it. But that was so they kind of.
Did he turn into Ozzy Osbourne?
He put his foot in his mouth, saying she's not my type, but mistook her for his wife. I mean, so that blows that whole theory right out of the water. No,
sure does.
You're not my type story. Well, obviously not. I mean, the guy just doesn't stop lying. I don't know why people just don't realize that. No matter what it takes, he'll just lie his way out of whatever he can.
Well,
you know what I would love to see and show on here? The tape of me and Marla Maples at my school.
That would be nice.
At my elementary school.
I know you talked about this. She came in to read your story. Why haven't we ever seen this tape?
Does the tape exist?
It does. I know my mom recorded it on the VCR, but I don't know. It has to be. It was on the news, so it's someplace. It's floating there, someplace.
It was on the news.
It was on the news. I swear to God, that's how I got it.
They taped it off the TV. Oh, you didn't have a camera in the classroom. It was the news camera.
This is like 1976, Frank. This is.
Was there sound? Was there?
Yeah.
What was it?
1990 something. I don't know.
So the other part of it, just another last part.
Okay.
Was his excuse for not recognizing. I'm just telling what happened in this video. This is just fact of the matter. This is what happened. He's looked at the photo, and they point out that's not his wife. That's E. Jean Carroll. And he goes, "That's a blurry picture. I don't have my glasses." Have you ever seen Donald Trump wearing glasses in his life?
No, but he might have contacts, and you don't even know. Boom.
Reading contacts?
I think some people have contacts for reading.
He said, "I don't have my glasses." Whenever he's on stage, he's reading things and he's looking at stuff. You never see him wearing glasses. And all of a sudden, to see this photo that's right in front of his face, I don't have my glasses.
Now, Mr. Trump, and only Mr. Trump, how many fingers am I holding up?
That's what they should have done. Excuse me. Thank you. Pardon me with the tape.
I have no clue what you're talking about.
My cousin Vinny.
Seinfeld. Oh, I was going to say Seinfeld.
No,
I don't even know.
I got to ask you point blank. Have you seen My Cousin Vinny, Janine?
Yeah, but not as much as you guys.
All right.
Oh,
Do you
it's the
remember the
best.
scene we're talking about when he's asking the witness, the one who can't see, like, Mrs. Riley and only Mrs. Riley?
Because the
I
judge
can't-
answers the first.
Oh, I honestly, I don't remember that.
He goes, Mrs. Riley, how many fingers am I holding up? The judge goes, let the record show Mr. Gambini's holding up 2 fingers. He's like, Your Honor, please.
You know what always bothered me about that moment was that he put 2 fingers back up. He didn't change it. I always thought he should have changed.
No, because then she would have guessed. She's not going to guess that he would have changed. He would have kept it the same. He
I
could
think
have
it's
changed it and guessed it right.
I think it's a big plot hole, Frank. I disagree.
You're a plot hole.
All right, the Biden administration. So the White House, who they haven't been having a ton of White House press conferences, which again is hysterical because that's another thing that they criticized the Trump administration for fairly, that they never had press conferences. And now they're at the point where the White House is not having a ton of press conferences. But anyway, they had a press conference today.
Oh boy.
And the press conference was for it's such a dumb fucking topic of who gives a shit. It's the investing in airline accountability press conference. So that was going to be the topic of the press conference. And the White House told the New York Post that they're unable to accommodate their credential request. Now, coincidentally, this is coming as the Hunter Biden tax fraud and laptop and all this shit is like it's boiling up, and they think they're coming to a conclusion whether or not they're going to move forward and press charges on the guy. The Post was the first one to report on it, and now suddenly they don't have enough seats for the Post to attend this press conference. Now, according to other outlets outside of the New York Post, they counted roughly 20 empty seats in the White House press briefing room this morning.
The excuse they gave was that they don't have seats.
They said we're unable to accommodate your credential request. The remarks can be live streamed and can be viewed.
That doesn't mean they're out of seats. Yeah, it's fucked up. It's bullshit, but it doesn't mean that doesn't say that they ran out of seats.
Right. So, but no,
the credentials.
The seat thing, yeah, right. The seat thing is just one of the reasons why some of the other news outlets are saying, like, what was the reason here? Because the New York Post has the 5th largest readership in the United States.
Wow.
According to news
20
websites.
People? I mean,
what? To 20. Yeah, the New York Post has the 5th largest news website by U.S. readership, and they were denied a press credential at the White House. Explain that. That's not right.
I can't.
That's
I don't
suspicious.
know. I would like to know what the reason was that they gave. I would like to know what the denial of the
I gave you the reason.
No, you said that they were denied credentials. Why were they denied credentials is my question.
The reason that I read to you is the reason that they gave the New York Post.
The reason you said that
in an email to the New York Post this morning, White House staff
we're unable to approve your request.
We're unable to accommodate your credential request.
Right, but I'd like to know why. Was it submitted late? Was it because they're assholes? Was it because the Biden administration doesn't want them there? What's the reason they were unable to accommodate the request?
Did not say. Yeah,
that's my question.
They didn't elaborate beyond that, and I don't know if there's necessarily a deadline on.
It could be for bad reasons. It could be for not bad reasons. I don't know. We don't know what why they turned down the request.
I don't know, but it seems
that's suspicious.
Awfully suspicious.
Yeah, it definitely is.
Yeah,
but I don't know why. It could be a number of reasons, but we don't know.
Feels kind of catty though, doesn't it? Feels kind of petty.
Yeah, no more petty than the last guy not holding press briefings because they were mean to him.
Oh,
The press is mean and unfair, so we're not doing press briefings. Well, if you want to be fair, let's be fair.
All right, and listen, it's not untrue, but again, like I said, you have an opportunity. Like I don't know why they do stupid shit like this.
It doesn't make sense.
Let the other side sink themselves. You could come out looking like you have nothing to hide, and now they're
100%.
They're taking the post and they're taking them out to the woodshed for absolutely no reason.
I agree. Was Fox there? Was other right-wing outlets there?
Yeah, but they weren't the ones that broke the story. You know, like this is a long-standing thing of they broke the story and then Biden said, well, after the fact that this was Russian disinformation, and now it seems like they're taking it out on them.
Gotcha. All right, we'll see what happens with that. Yeah, I don't know why they would. If it's for shitty reasons, then it's fucked up.
By the way, everybody's making a big deal about Biden having notes on reporters and what the questions would ask. Have you seen all that kind of stuff?
No.
I did see that he had answers written to, the answers written down already.
Yeah, like I don't understand that because every
president has the answers written down.
And like a president knows, if not every single question he's going to get, at least the first 3 or 4 he's going to get, and he knows who he's going to, and they know who he's going to.
Yeah.
Like, there's no surprise here. That stuff is choreographed from the get-go, and that's not even when it comes to presidential stuff. Again, going back to my time with the Islanders, like that was the same shit. There was a pecking order, and you knew who was getting the first question, and you knew what the questions were going to be for the most part in those press conferences. So I don't understand why everybody's making a big deal out of that.
It doesn't make any sense because
you
go to any president, they have notes, they have what's it called, index cards with shit written on them. That's what it is.
And I was going to say, I feel like they caught Trump doing the same shit, and everybody might have made a big deal out of that when he was the president too. It doesn't make any sense to me. People are dumb. Mr. Beast. Mr. Beast, for people who don't know, has a YouTube channel. I mean, I don't even know how many friggin'
a quadrillion
subscribers he has. Yeah, I mean, I do know he has 40 billion views.
Damn.
That's like too many.
That's a lot. 40 fucking billion.
I mean, that's how many times the population of the Earth?
Oh shit.
151 million subscribers.
151 million
subscribers, yeah, for Mr. Beast.
All right, so slightly more than ours.
We're catching up. We're gaining. We're close.
Close.
Astronomical sense, we're close.
I want to see. I forget where they.
Compared to our distance to the next galaxy, yeah, we're close to Mr. Beast. That's pretty close.
I want to see how many overall views we have. But anyway, while I look this up, take a guess at how much do you think his house is worth? If you have 40 billion views on YouTube, he has an estimated net worth of around 54 million, which, by the way, I think is a low estimate.
I thought he was in the next digit. Another digit over.
Yeah, because as Frank and I have talked like in the past, like because of the topics that we talk about, the average, what they call, there's like a CPM, so it's cost per milli. So for 1,000 views, we get X amount of money of revenue from YouTube, right? But our cost per milli is considerably lower than his, because his doesn't talk about rapists and pedophiles and trafficking and all that stuff.
Right.
Like you look at some of these like Disney vloggers, and they could be making like $150 for 1,000 views, right? Way more than other people are, because their shit is safe and wholesome and brings on families, and fucking Tide can put their ads against their videos and they can charge Tide more for that kind of shit, So he's also one of these guys where his shit is like totally and completely safe. So he is banking a shit ton of money.
All right. So his house, I haven't seen his house. I don't know what it looks like. I would guess It's got to be, I'd say, 15 million is his house.
15 million. Okay. Jay Sams.
I'd say 22 million.
22 million. Okay.
We got some guests in
We got
some
some
weird
guesses.
guesses in the chat.
All right, before
175,000. It's a little low.
okay, 175,000 from Robin, 1.2 million from Bird, 450,000 from Paul. Some modest guesses here.
Modest for a multimillionaire.
By the
I would
way,
think at least in the millions.
I just went to look at our views. So his was 40 billion views. Our YouTube channel has 7 million views.
Hey,
so
that's
We're getting there.
Million. That's pretty good.
We are trailing Mr. Beast, to say the least. See, I did that.
Sure.
Put that on a shirt. Paige, thanks for re-upping.
Thank you, Paige. You brought us one step closer to Mr. Beast. We appreciate that wholeheartedly.
We're getting there. See what we're doing?
Yeah, one at a time. He just bought a house for $318,000.
What?
Where? Not where.
Great question, Jay Sabs. Definitely not in New York, because he would be in a studio.
He doesn't live in like a Kardashian-sized house?
Nope. He bought a $318,000 house in Greenville, North Carolina.
Well, there you go.
Which I believe
it's going to be a big house.
Is that near Raleigh? It's a nice house. Don't get me wrong. But here's the weird part about it. So he's got like a whole crew that does videos with him.
Sure.
He bought all of them, all the houses next door.
Ah, all right. So he bought basically a block of houses.
He bought a neighborhood.
Okay.
Yeah, to be technical, he bought a friggin' neighborhood.
All right. Well, I would have thought he would have like a big mansion, like a Beverly Hills style mansion with a huge, I thought it was going to be in the few millions. But that's a moderate. It's not that expensive of a house for a millionaire. You think he paid it all off, or is he paying monthly?
I think he put out a video to pay it all off.
Okay,
video.
Because this guy gives away $1 million on every other video. $100,000 if you stay in this circle for a day.
Mm-hmm.
All right, well,
If you stay in this circle for a day, that's very true. That is one of the videos.
Is that one of? Because they did it. There was one where they had like 100 people stay in, like it was a square. And it was whoever stays in it the longest. And they kept making the square smaller. And people were like,
really?
I gotta. Yeah. And then they would like do challenges. They would move the square, And then they were like, all right, whoever comes out now, you get 10,000. You get to go home. And they would do different things. And I don't know who lasted, but it went for a few days. A person was just stayed in the square. And it was like $100,000 they won or something like that. Some huge, ridiculous sum of money. And he does that kind of thing like all the time. He played rock, scissors, paper with The Rock. And he said, whoever loses donates $100,000 to charity, your favorite charity. I think The Rock won, or The Rock lost. And so The Rock had to pay. And then Mr. Beast goes, all right, I'll pay too. So they both donated $100,000 just for that one video.
Damn, these people.
Just to, and I'm sure that video got millions and millions of views.
Yeah.
It's a crazy, crazy freaking thing. Just to, he puts out a 10-minute, 15-minute videos, gives away $1 million, and on that video, he'll probably make $10 million.
Mm-hmm.
It's crazy.
Jeez.
Back to you in the studio.
No, it's true. He has. And he's like, he sold a house for $1 once. He did the old shtick with like you keep your hand on the car, you win the car.
Right. He did one of those things with he did that with like a private plane or jet or something like that. You keep your hand on the jet.
Oh, really?
And then they would roll the jet, and then he'd have to go along with it. It's crazy, but he does that kind of those stunts, and people go nuts for them.
he tried his TikTok promotion was if you follow Mr. Beast and he asks you, he sees you in person and asks you if you follow him on TikTok, you get 10 grand. His fucking followers shot through the roof.
Yeah,
because everybody's like, I better cut. And then he would put out videos where people were like, oh, I follow, and he was like steadily growing. And then he put out a video where a guy was like, I follow you on YouTube and not on TikTok, and he was like, oh, like that sucks. And so he didn't get it. And then after that, it was like straight up because people were like, I don't want to be that guy.
Man, he whatever he's doing, how he started. It can't be what's the process? He started as a small, I'm sure, a YouTuber that was like, all right, I'll do little stunts here and there, and then it just grew and grew and grew, and he just kept doing that, and something just struck, and he just hit the jackpot somehow.
He started with his channel was a gaming channel, and his first videos are still up there. You can watch them; they're horrid, they're awful.
Is him playing a video game?
It's him playing a video game, and then he started doing these like charitable stunts. Like where it was like, I'll give you $1,000 or I'll give you $500. And that slowly started to grow. And then there's a great interview with him and Casey Neistat. If anybody's really interested in this, the first thing he got like a brand deal and they gave him like 10 grand, which would like to a kid with a YouTube channel is like,
ooh.
Yeah,
you're rich. And he was like, can I give it all away? And they were like, are you sure you want to give it all away? He's like, yeah, I just want to give it all away. And he came up with something and he gave it all away. And that video exploded. That was it. Once he started getting that. And then he said
we just need someone to give us 10 grand.
Yeah.
We give it away and we'll be in beast mode.
But he said it got to a point where he was trying to give away what the sponsors were giving him and he just couldn't. Because they all just wanted access to his channels. They were just giving him all this money and he couldn't actually give it away fast enough.
That's crazy.
So he went and bought up all those homes, paid $1.45 million for all the homes around his home. That's weird though. Damn. Like what would you think if we bought a house and then it was like, you guys have to, we all have to live on the same block?
I thought we should do that a while ago. That would be so cool. We all lived in like a close, we have hang out.
Okay, who's we? First of all,
I find it funny that the guy who doesn't want to leave his house to come meet us for stuff is like, we should all live together.
Yeah, right.
That would make it easier to not leave my house. You guys just walk next door, come right over. I don't got to go anywhere.
That's true. Frank, you have an upside down pineapple in your background?
Where?
I'm kidding.
Oh, what? I do not.
Is that a little weird though? Like if you're like, hey, you gotta, I don't know.
Not that I got it, but it's probably the people. It's the people that work for him. It's like having an office, I guess. But
I mean, we're pretty
kind of weird, right?
We're pretty good friends, and we do this 3 times a week. If I was like, hey, now we're at the show's at the point where we're making so much money, I'm gonna buy you guys a house. Wouldn't you be a little perturbed? Where it's like,
now I got to pick up my whole life and move.
Do I have to fucking live near you? Like, thanks for the house. Can I pick where? Like, I would feel weird if Frank was like, I'm gonna buy you guys a house, but you got to come live near me. I'd be like,
Well, here's the thing: what the people that he bought the houses for, were they already settled in their houses, or was it like? Because he seems like 30 years old, maybe a little. I don't know.
You think he's younger? I think you're right. They were all kids, so this
probably
is probably
don't have
their
their
first
houses.
Yeah.
So this is probably all new for them.
No, I'm sorry, my eyes are itching me so bad. My allergies.
Yeah, it's bad today.
They are pretty bad.
But I mean, if I didn't have a house and I was just living at home with my parents or whatever, and my friend brought me a house, I'd be like, yeah, all right, I'll live there.
Okay, which leads me to my next question. It doesn't work for Janine or Frank. This only works for me because where I live. How much money would I have to spend on a house to get Frank's brother to move out by me and leave his precious neighborhood that he
I think it wouldn't be much. No, I think he would leave.
That is a lie. He doesn't like driving out here.
If you bought him a house, he'd leave in a minute.
No, that is not. You think that's true?
Probably.
I don't think if Janine bought the nicest house in her, well, you're too close. All right, let me do it this way. I don't think if you bought the nicest house in your neighborhood, that motherfucker would move out to you. And you live what, 15 minutes away from him?
Frank
Okay,
doesn't like
half an
going
hour.
past a certain town. I think. I
Mike,
think he thinks I'm too far from him already.
who are you talking about? My brother.
You.
Me?
Yeah. Oh, you mean were you talking about his brother?
My
Anthony?
brother, yeah.
I know
saying that my
Frank
brother
doesn't
would-
like going anywhere, but Frank's brother especially does not like leaving the old
Oh, no.
neighborhood.
No.
He would leave. He would. I think he would go.
Probably
the
because it
problem
takes
is
an
my-
hour
my
to
whole-
get out because it goes 25 miles an hour. Go ahead.
The problem is my whole family is in that neighborhood, and so he would be. My mom lives there still. Plus the kids, all their friends are there. It would be uprooting his family's life. So I don't know. That's the only thing.
I didn't say anything about his family coming. I just
Oh,
said
it's just
him.
him. Oh, all right. So then, yeah, he'd go like that. No, so no.
I don't know. I'd uproot my family pretty easily, I think.
Oh,
Who cares about their roots?
You've been looking
Right.
to leave Long Island for the last 10 years. You think
I'm
you're gonna
one
get the
Mr.
hell out?
Beast interaction away from leaving Long Island altogether.
I'll be honest. After this couple of days away, I don't want to live here. I'd
Yeah,
rather
who-
live in. Florida's looking real nice to me right now.
Florida blows.
I want to hear about
No,
your
it
trip,
doesn't.
Jason.
Why
Season
does
wise.
it blow? Because
Temperature wise.
Because you
But
what?
temperature wise, it's great. But like weather wise, I mean. It's
All right,
great.
I want
Oh.
to hear all about J Sab's trip. I'm sure she's got a recap for us. But the last topic we got to get in before we could dish on that. Ray Liotta's cause of death took a year.
Mm.
Took a year to figure this out, but he died from pulmonary edema
Mm.
and acute heart failure in his sleep while working on a movie in the Dominican Republic.
Heart
Aw,
failure.
I
Yeah.
like
Yeah.
him.
They call that the silent killer, by the way.
He was. Wait.
I'm sorry. The arterial
Mhm.
Am I saying that right? That's where the plaque builds up. That's the silent killer. That's what he had, which caused all those other things.
Mm.
Okay,
You
so
can't see that shit coming in tests.
And he died in his sleep.
And he died in his sleep.
All right, at least that's
Thank God.
something. Yeah, I mean it sucks. He was too young.
That's how I want to go. Is
At
there a
least,
better way
yeah,
to go?
No suffering, I guess. Hope So that's at least something. It's weird. I mean, they probably figured it out relatively quickly, but they didn't release it till now. Is that?
I don't know.
Yeah, I don't think it was a big conspiracy. It's not like
Yeah.
Bob
take
Saget where they're covering up a murder. You know,
Right. It
Exactly.
didn't take a year for it to come for them to figure it out. It just took a year for them to release it. For I guess his family to release it.
How much money do you think that they paid Bob Saget's wife not to talk about how she really felt, like how he died?
It depends. They who?
Exactly.
Mr.
Wow.
Beast type money. That's how much I think.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. All right, J Sabs. I can't believe. By the way, I owe Frank $5 because you came back. I thought for sure you wouldn't.
Oh.
You'd be doing the show from sunny Florida.
Oh.
Tell us
that would
about your
be-
trip. I heard you bought a gun within 5 minutes. You got a DeSantis shirt. You shit on Disney. You had a whole time.
You made best friends like with the first couple you saw.
Right. It was vacation friends in record time was the direct quote, Frank.
Yep.
Right.
My personal best. So I met my husband there for work. So Wednesday he was supposed to get out at like 3:00 or so. He didn't get out until 8:00.
Thank God, right? You had some time
Whew,
for
thank
yourself.
God. Thank God I had time to bang a random stranger or two. I mean, come on.
And listen, but I don't want anybody to think of the wrong opinion about you about stranger. She means homeless person, so it's not like they have a clue
Right.
of what's going on anyway.
Right.
Different, yeah. So we stayed at the Hard Rock in Hollywood, Florida, which honestly was really nice.
Is that the big guitar hotel?
Yep. And I got one of the nights for free because I'm a little bit of a gambler.
Nice.
And so
What room did you stay in? Was it the G string room or was it
yeah, pretty much.
okay?
G string. I get.
Now he just gets it. So I was like, what am I gonna do? I was like, okay. My room was ready when I got there, threw my stuff in the room, and I was like, oh, I'm just gonna go to the pool. So I went to the pool, and I started talking to some girl there. Ran like very fast, quick. Within an I'm not going to say an hour. I'm giving that a lot of time. I want to say within a half an hour, somebody to the right of us, left of us, they had this big fight, which was always entertaining to watch.
Like a couple?
I don't really know. It was a girl and another girl. They might have been lesbians, and then another guy came too. And it was like,
Can you hear what they were arguing about?
I mean, I don't even know what she was saying, but she got really pissed off at her. She threw something at her and then walked away. And I was like, oh, this is going to be good. And then to the right of us was an older couple, probably in their 60s. The woman was flat out drunk. I mean, like, she was limp. She was lying on her chair, just like straight. Like you couldn't, it was so funny, right? So me and this girl started talking, whatever. It turns out her boyfriend is a big UFC fighter, and he's going to fight someone pretty famous in the next month or two.
Wow.
Cool.
Someone from Ireland. I'll give you a guess who that is.
Stop it.
Swear to God. Swear to God.
Stop.
You met him?
Not him. I met the guy who he's going to fight. So
That's what I mean. That's
yeah.
You met the guy.
Her boyfriend is going to fight the Irish guy. Okay. All right.
So I said we were just talking, having fun, blah, blah, blah. And then I went to get a drink. I only got one drink because I was like, I can't be sloshed by the time Gaetano gets here, right?
Wait, how many drinks did you have before this moment?
None.
Okay.
I kind of got and then I got a drink. So there was a girl next to me, and she started, I forgot what she said. And she's like, they should have a happy hour here. These drinks are great. Now, they were pretty expensive. Okay, so they were, I think it was $18 a drink or $17 a drink. Plus, they add 20% gratuity automatically.
A little presumptuous, but okay.
Yeah, exactly. So anyway, she's like, now you would be proud of me. She goes, I'm sorry, I'm having a bad day. My boyfriend's not talking to me. She's like, nothing ever goes my way. And I was like, oh, I have to go meet my friend at the pool. Because I was like, oh, here's this woe is me person. I'm not
so
dealing
you
with
wanted
this.
nothing to do with it. You're like, all right, I'm not going to be a friend and I'm going to walk away.
I was like, I have to go.
Actually, I said, why? What's wrong with Dustin?
What's that?
Did I get it?
No, I don't know.
The guy's name?
Were you Googling UFC fighters?
No.
No, I Googled the guy she's talking about versus, and the next match came up.
Oh, that's funny. No, this was a different person. This was a different girl she was just at the bar.
Never.
So anyway, I got something to eat quick because I was starving at this point. And went back to the room. I have an obsession with, even if I stay in a hotel room one night, I'm unpacking my suitcase.
Oh my God, you're one of these fucking people.
We have another friend like that.
Oh, dear
you
Lord.
Do?
Tell me, you don't know who it is?
Too. Come on.
Tell me how bad it is. Like, how are you filling all the cabinets and the drawers and shit?
I immediately take out all my toiletries and arrange them on the sink along with my makeup.
That I understand.
That's not horrible.
And then I'll go into the clothes part. And then I'll just set up everything, And you know what? That brings me joy. I don't know why. I have a problem with it.
I get unpacking for a long trip. You put, all right, you got your bathing suits here. You got everything's kind of organized. I'm not down on that.
I almost immediately
we do the same thing. We do the same
every time. I almost immediately do that. But this time, when I got there, I just wanted to get in my bathing suit and go to the pool.
Right.
But I do have a problem with that. I do. I have an obsession. Go ahead.
I up until last summer, and that was only because of spacing issues, have never, ever, ever, ever put anything in a drawer in a hotel room.
Oh, I always do. I always do.
Has your wife?
Has my wife? No. We
like
both have the same.
If you go to a hotel together, she doesn't take your stuff and put it in drawers and things.
You get that thing out of the closet. You put the suitcase on top of it. What do they call those things, by the way? They're in every hotel room. Nobody knows what the name of
Suitcase
those
keeper.
things are.
Luggage
Yeah,
rack.
right? Nobody knows the name of this thing.
It's a luggage
the
rack.
thing in the closet with the thing and the straps, and it's weird. And, we get that thing. We put the suitcase on top. We open it up. Done. The unpacking portion of the vacation has concluded.
What
Oh,
about
no.
like if you have dress shirts or something? You gotta keep them out, iron them, or whatever.
Yeah, that's it. If you have a dress shirt, you put it on the hanger, fine. I didn't say anything about the hanger. Hangers are used. But to put something in a drawer in a hotel room, I swear, psychotic behavior. There's something wrong with
We
you.
do that. Like we go, my wife and I, we go on cruises. So we have to put the cruises. The things
Can I
aren't
say
that
something?
big. What?
Like, I was just gonna say that that
Lost
is
you at
a
cruises.
that's a space
No,
situation.
it's a space saving. You have to put the luggage away, so you're not tripping over it. So we take everything out of the luggage, put it in drawers and things. So the luggage you could like shove under the bed or something.
That's a different story. I could okay that.
Not me. Who's our friend who does that? Is he tall?
Let's just say if your brother left his wife for somebody, he'd be leaving him for this particular
okay.
person.
Okay.
Okay, enough said.
Yep. So, okay.
We do that too. My wife and I, when we go on a vacation, we
A
unpack.
regular hotel room.
I have to think. Yeah, I don't know, because everything, like if you're looking for something, it's easier to find. Like here's all
Yes.
your socks.
Instead of like
Here's all your
right, it's just
instead of digging
like,
through.
ugh, yeah.
I
no.
get that. I'm on that. I'm on team Unpack.
Thank you.
You're on team psychopath is more like it.
That's fine.
Now, so my husband gets there and he brings his suitcase, and I was like, I have to look at this monstrosity inside. And I'm like, how do you know which clothes are dirty and which are not? Oh no. I'm like, so it blew my mind, right? Like I was like getting itchy, and I was like, mm. So anyway, I did fix it the next day because I couldn't. I was thinking about it, and I'm like, I can't leave it. I can't leave it.
Wait,
So
what did he do? Where did he leave it?
he like put the dirty clothes back with the clean clothes.
Mm. Yeah, what you're supposed to do, you unpack everything, and then as you wear things, and you the dirty clothes you put back in the
Yeah,
in the
but the thing
luggage.
is, we were going to he didn't stay at that hotel.
We lost Chase Apps.
Nope, I'm here.
Oh, there you go.
I'm here.
Everything seems fine.
I said he didn't stay at that hotel. He stayed at a different one, so he brought his suitcase there that night. So that's why. I don't know, but
Oh, so he just jumbled everything together just to get
Yeah.
on the road.
right,
All right, I can
But-
forgive that.
whatever. So we went to Fort Lauderdale, Hollywood for 2 days, and something big was happening in town. Do you know?
Nope.
Does anybody in the chat know what was going on in Fort Lauderdale, Hollywood, Miami area?
No.
Nothing.
Losers. Formula
You just
One.
Did you just put an L on your
Yeah, I
head?
did. I did.
Okay.
Formula One.
No shit. Wait, like on the streets or like at one of their? Did they have like a track?
So there's a Hard Rock Stadium.
Oh.
So our hotel was like a hub for it, meaning like a lot of people stayed there, and they got bussed back and forth.
That's
To-
exciting.
No, it was pretty cool. But the thing is, go ahead.
No,
Go ahead.
okay.
What were you gonna say?
I said I went to one racing thing in my life. And
Okay.
It was just because it was an event that I had to work at this event and take pictures and things. So it was a drag race, and I walk in. It's my first time at one of these things. I walk
Wait,
into
it was drag queens racing.
it was drag queens.
I
Yeah,
would have been on RuPaul. She's fast.
Yeah.
she is fast. But no, they had these, those long cars with the tiny wheels, and they have the parachute goes out the back.
Yep.
That was what they were doing. So I walk into the stadium, and I'm part of the radio station that was doing a thing there. So I had the press thing, and I'm down, and I'm literally on the wall. There's the wall right next to the track, and I'm taking pictures. And then it occurs to me, I look around, I'm looking at everybody in the crowd, and they're wearing these orange headphones.
Oh no.
So I'm like, what?
Oh no. I know where
What
this
the
is
hell
going.
I'm like, what the hell's going on? Why is everybody wearing these things? All of a sudden, the fucking thing takes off, and it like I thought the alien from Aliens was gonna fucking pop out of my chest. That's the vibration I felt.
Really? I would have
The
sat on it.
loudest fucking thing you've ever heard. These two cars taking off 50 feet from me, and just like I thought I was gonna die. I thought my head was gonna explode. I just went, oh my God. And everybody's like, yeah. And I'm like, what the fuck? I just got the fuck out of it. I didn't have any more headphones. I'm like, I'm gone. I had to go because I couldn't take any more of that.
Wait, so you just left? You just
I took
got out of
pictures.
it?
Well, our stuff, everything was set up outside. So I just went in to take some pictures. So I took a few pictures. Then all of a sudden the race took off. I don't know how many they were doing, but I saw one and I was like, nope, I'm not sticking around for the next one. And I just hightailed it. It was an outdoor. Everything was outdoors, and it was like 100 feet from being inside the place to being by our thing.
Look at this from Diane. I unpack everything, and it goes in drawers and hangers. Empty luggage goes on the luggage rack. Luggage rack.
That's exactly what I do.
You're an ass. I hate you. I said luggage rack about 14 times.
Did you?
Yeah. As you were trying to come up with the name, I'm sitting there going, luggage rack. This is a luggage rack. You put it on, it's a luggage rack. And you're like, what's that fucking thing with the belts and the straps that comes out of the closet? I'm like, luggage rack. Luggage rack. It's a luggage rack. And you're like, nobody knows. Nobody knows the name. What is it? What's the deal?
Oh, shit. That's hysterical.
Yes.
So it was really busy down there. But anyway, we decided to the beach in Hollywood.
Well, wait, can I stop you?
Go ahead.
Because this is fascinating, because I feel like this is a really Janine topic where there are famous people there who mean nothing to you, but I feel like you're going to be like, I got to get a look at these famous people, even though I have no idea who they are.
Absolutely correct.
Thank you.
So I did not go to anything, but I kept my eyes out. Unfortunately, I only saw one famous person.
That's it?
Do we know who this person is?
I don't know if you know him, but I know who he is.
He's a racer?
No. So obviously, like Formula One racers, you guys, fuck you, Anthony. You don't know any of them either, you cocksucker.
No, I have no idea who they are,
right.
but I would be like, I don't know who those people are. Who cares? You'd be like, I'm going to stick around and get a picture.
The thing is,
I'm going to wait here for the most famous person to come by and tell them that they don't look good. That's what you would be doing.
They're all famous, all celebrities were invited. Like, they're always invited because obviously they want to make it like an event. So like a lot of people were there. I know that, but we were not near. We did not go to any. We didn't go to that because honestly, tickets start at $5,000 each
for a Formula One.
Yep.
Wow,
that's insane.
So, what we did was we went to Hollywood Beach, which was amazing. The water there was like it's Caribbean water. I was in the water pretty much the whole entire time.
Really?
And I'm a swimmer, so I just go right in. Go ahead.
Is this close to? This is the Guitar Hotel you're talking about now.
It's about 20 minutes from the Guitar Hotel. This Hollywood
beaches,
and they have like a boardwalk, and it's just like all restaurants and hotels, and just really nice. I did start talking to a couple in the water though.
Wait, who's the celebrity you saw?
Oh, this is later. This is later on in Miami.
What?
Miami.
Oh, I thought you said who? I was like, who's Johnny? What celebrity are you talking
about? So I started talking to this couple in the water. I don't even know how we started. But anyway, they're from Hollywood, Florida, and now they live in California. And they're like, we want to move back to Florida because the water in California is shit. And I was like, what? And they live in Pasadena, which is like, near like Malibu.
That's where the little old lady's from.
It's gorgeous.
But they said the water's not the same and it's cold. He's so stupid.
It's cold. The water's cold in Pasadena?
Yep. They said California water is always cold. But anyway, So we just talking. They were telling me like what they did, blah blah blah. And then like I was trying to get the husband to come in the water. At first he put his feet in and he was like, "No, it's okay. I'll
Did
just
you
go
use
sit
your
down."
hand? Sorry, couldn't. I couldn't resist it.
No, only mouth. While meeting my new friends. For so anyway, he finally did come in the
Frank, it's your turn.
right.
That's why the water was so warm.
I knew you were gonna say that. So so that was it. And then the next morning we drove to Miami. And that's sick over there. Have you ever been there?
To Miami, yes. Who was the celebrity?
His name is Paul Wesley.
Don't know who that is.
Why does that sound familiar to me? Actually,
You know him.
Paul
I bet
Wesley.
yeah.
PW?
I'm gonna
Look
Google.
him up. Look him up. Yeah, look him up. And so I was swimming near him and his girlfriend.
Are you sure it wasn't Paul Collier?
I see Paul Wesley, and I still don't know who that is.
Paul Wesley. Paul Walker came up first. R.I.P.
Oh, really?
Smallville, Vampire Diaries, Law and Order. Still, nope.
He's pretty famous. He's like good friends with Ian Somerhalder. You know that other. He's an actor too. You know him.
Can
you
I
know
show
him.
a thing? No, he's copyright pictures. Google him. He's some guy.
Right. So anyway, I was in the water, and he was near me with his girlfriend, and I'm like, "Fuck, Janine, you know him. Where the fuck do you know him from? Where do you know him from?" Couldn't figure it out. I was like, "I'm finding this out." So I like maybe 2 or 3 hours. I was like, "Oh, I know who it is." So, but I actually had to Google a whole bunch of different things to find out who it was, and then I saw it on his Instagram that he was there. So,
all right, he's only got 47,000 followers on Instagram. Is that really that big of a deal?
Paul Wesley?
That's only 46,800 more than me.
No, he has 12.5 million.
What?
Yeah.
What am I looking at then? Is this a poser account? Oh, I might have looked at the wrong account.
It was Paul Wesley fans. Is that what
You're right. I was on the wrong one. Wrong Paul Wesley.
Dingus. Yeah, I never heard of this guy.
Okay, so now this is kind of crazy, and I think you'll like this. I was in the water, and I'm always in the water by myself, of course. That's why I start talking to random people. And there was this
Shark?
big thing next to me, right?
Whale.
Cock.
Cock.
Sperm whale.
And now, I was not facing it. I forgot which way I was facing, but I was facing towards the shore because people started to come and walk towards the shore, and I saw birds going down, right? And I was like, "Oh, what's this?" I was like, "Oh my God." And my first thing in my head, is this a celebrity?
The birds know.
And then I'm like, "No, you idiot. It's the birds." So I turn around, and this thing was next to me. Now this girl next to me was like, "Oh, is that seaweed?" And I was like, "Nope, that ain't seaweed." And she's like, "Is it a whale?" So then it comes out of the water and it goes back in. It was a manatee.
There was a manatee swimming around you.
Right next to me.
Cool.
So I thought that was really cool. And it was funny because her boyfriend was on the other side of it, and she calls him, and she's like, "Look." And so he turned around, he went, and he didn't know what to do. Like, he was like,
that could freak you out if you're not expecting a giant manatee next to you.
I'll be honest, I was kind of frozen because I was like, well, I know they're friendly, so it's not going to kill me.
No.
I'm good. I didn't freak out. Literally, it was like,
my first thought would be shark.
Right here.
My first thought would be the birds are swimming around because there's
bait
in there's fish in the water that a shark is coming to.
Right.
That would have been my first thought.
But that's kind of crazy. It's right next to you, but it's so big you can't make out what it is.
Right, because I was so close to it. I was right next to it, so I knew it was. I knew it was a manatee. I didn't know I when the girl said first it was seaweed, I was like, no. And she said a whale. I'm like, no, that's not. I was like, that's manatee. She was like, what? That's crazy. and then
I
it
feel
just
like I was there.
swam across the shore, and that's it. But that was really cool.
That is
Plus, I
cool.
love sea animals, so I wouldn't get scared of that. And you know what? I don't even know if I would be scared about sharks either.
Can't hear a thing you're saying.
What?
Try not to
Sorry.
cover your mic when you talk.
I'm itchy.
All right.
I don't know if I'd be scared with sharks either. I don't know.
Yeah, a shark,
Maybe.
I'd be scared with. You
All
don't
right. So,
wanna-
what was more exciting to you, the manatee or Paul, whatever his name was?
Oh, that's a tough question.
I feel like manatee. That you're just in the wild and a manatee comes up to you.
Yeah, but how many followers does a manatee have on Instagram?
Does it
Frank?
have-
I don't know.
I
Doesn't
bet I
have
could find a
12.5 million.
manatee. I bet I could find a manatee on Instagram that has like over 1 million followers.
With more than 12.5 million followers, or
I'm
just
gonna look.
That's tough.
manatee.
And then, so we stayed like a little bit above like real South Beach, which is like, it was like 3 miles. So Saturday we took a ride into South Beach, like in the heart of it.
so you stayed where the 40-year-olds stay when they go to Miami.
No, you know what? Nobody really wants to stay in South Beach anymore
Why?
because it's not. Some guy said it right. He's like, it's kind of ratchet, and I was like, okay. How about this? This hotel I stayed in, you know what Nobu is, right? And who Nobu is,
The sushi place?
right?
Mm-hmm.
It was in the hotel, and he was actually there when we were doing some kind of event at the hotel. So,
Mr.
Pretty-
Nobu?
yeah, Mr. Nobu himself, pretty bougie, pretty
That
bougie.
is bougie.
But I
Yeah,
didn't know
he's
either.
Throwing the words ratchet and bougie around. Like,
Yeah, I know,
what's
right?
going on? You go to Florida for 1 week, and
This is
that's
Florida Janine. Yeah.
all right.
It's okay. So it's like I didn't know where to stay. Somebody told me to stay just above South Beach because it could get like it's not really nice. The hotels there, they're really not great. They look like, and I'll show you a picture too. They're like some of them look like old timey. You know what I mean? Like from like the
Mm.
60s. Like you could tell. But people watching there was amazing.
Stalking.
Yeah, exactly.
Got it.
Does everybody
Yeah.
walk? Okay, let me tell you my impressions of South Beach.
Okay, what do you think?
Everything I know about it comes from
Jersey Shore.
No,
Go ahead.
the birdcage. That is South Beach still in my. Everybody's walking around in like thongs. That's how I view
Yeah.
South
Hop in a bakery, you get a couple of samples.
Yeah.
You go back home.
when the schmecken beckons,
The
Frank.
Schmack Beckons.
That
It's the
plus
best movie. I love that.
Bad
fucking movie.
Boys.
Yeah, a little Bad Boys too. Yeah,
Yeah.
that's
It's
true.
just-
Betrayed,
Definitely an
bewildered.
experience.
But what was the people watching like? What did you see?
We passed Muscle Beach, so you saw all these guys working out on the beach with like actual gym equipment, which is weird. It's so weird.
That's like, what do we
Isn't
do?
it weird?
Go in your house.
I saw that when I was in California. They have a Muscle Beach over there
yeah.
too,
Mhm.
and it was like it was very, very odd. And every one of them was bigger than the next. It was crazy.
So that was pretty funny. They're known for like they have drag brunches.
Yes, I hear they're like world famous.
They are. So we watched part of one. It was amazing.
Yeah,
I was sad we didn't do it, but so along the beach, like it's a boardwalk, but then like across a little street is like again a strip of like restaurants and hotels. So this drag brunch was in a restaurant where it's all open. And these people do crazy, crazy things, but like you could watch from the street. That's why it's great too. But it's really funny. I don't know if you've ever been to a drag brunch.
they say though the ones down there are like world class, like
They are.
Broadway caliber performers.
They are because
Enjoy them while they're still legal.
I looked at it on Instagram. again, so many followers these drag people have.
Yeah,
It's
an art.
crazy.
They're performers.
Yeah. But what else happened? I guess that's pretty much it. But my husband was like, yeah, I could take it or leave it in Miami. Meanwhile, I'm like, okay, girls, let's round up. We're gonna go.
My wife and I went to Miami, I don't know, 8 years ago, I'd say. And they were filming. We were stayed in a hotel. It wasn't like a really big,
Which one?
famous hotel. I can't remember the name of it. It wasn't like a, a Marriott or a Hilton or anything like that. It was like on like a main road, and it was like a tiny place.
So you stayed
And
at a motel and you paid $69.
it wasn't a motel, no. But
Okay.
it was a nice, really nice, like upscale place, but it wasn't it wasn't a huge place. And they were filming some sort of reality show in the lobby, and it was like models coming in and out. It was like that week they had this
Oh, I
whole
wonder
big
what
thing.
that was.
Yeah, we never found out the name of it, but they were filming something there, and I wish we would have caught what it was, but we can't. That's one thing we missed. We didn't get the name of it.
And what did you do there? Like, did you like it or it wasn't for you?
Yeah, it was. Unfortunately, when we went, it rained for a lot of the time we were there. So, but otherwise, we walked around. The food, it was nice. I'd go back. We went for 5 days, and it rained like 4 of the 5 days.
Oh God.
Yeah. So, but other than that, the town is nice. The people are nice. That was a cool. It's a cool area.
It's
How was
different.
the food?
It was good.
Good food?
It was good. Yep.
Is
We
it
ate
like Cuban or everything?
everything. But like South Beach, you're not really in the city. So you have to go over the bridge to go into the city, and that's where the Cuban food is.
Mhm.
Next time when I take both your wives with me, I would do. They have like a little, like it's called Little Havana walking tour, but it's like a food tour. It was just
Nice.
too hot to walk around and do that for 2.5 hours. I was like, I'd rather go on the beach and
That's cool.
tan my pale white ass. So
Walking tours could be cool though. Those are fun.
no, I like them. I did an
Yeah.
amazing one in Barcelona once. So
Yeah, we did one in Portugal, in Lisbon, Portugal.
see,
We paid like $16 for this walking tour that was supposed to be 45 minutes. 4 hours later, we're like 10 miles from we got off the cruise ship. They take us all over Lisbon. We're stopping in bars. They're getting us drinks and food. For $16, we were like, "Are you sure we're on the right tour?" We're asking everybody.
you had to give
We're
your
like,
kidney at the end. That's
Yeah,
it.
well, like whether we only paid, did you pay 16? We only paid $16. 4 hours later, we're like, all right, the ship's about to leave. We got to get back. So we all start coming back, and she's like wrapping up the tour, and we're like, okay, gotta go. We're giving back like they have like the headsets because she's like at the front of the tour. There's like 30 of us, and we're listening to her give the speeches and everything. But I tell you, we got our money's worth and then some for that on that tour. They gave us all like the specialty foods of Portugal. They were like these pastries and things. They gave
Ooh.
us glasses of beer. I'm like, this is insane. This is amazing.
What do you tip on a $16 4-hour tour?
I know, right?
Yeah, I don't.
Feels like
I
you
don't
got to
know.
throw a 20 down at least.
It's a rough. It's yeah. I don't remember what we did. We gave her some. I don't remember what it was.
Yeah, no,
I wish I knew.
So I didn't really know that like South Beach. Obviously, Cubans are around there, but it's not right there. You have to go out, so you have to go into the city, which
So you didn't go to like the hole in the wall where all the locals go,
No.
Cuban sandwich place?
we didn't do that. We went into this. We ate at this Italian place. Let me just say, I was so overwhelmed with there's so many restaurants there. It's like, how do you pick the right one? And everyone says it's so good, and like, so we picked this place where I know a girl who lives in Miami and she recommended this place. And I was like, okay. It was really good. We had the tasting menu there.
Be right back.
And
Let me tell you something. I love a goddamn tasting menu.
yep.
What's better?
Oh. And it was like, not like classic Italian, if that makes sense. Like they had like odd things together. And I was like, oh, this is good. Oh, this is good. So I don't know. I thought this place was very
Like
good.
what? Like you mean like not like ravioli and shit? Did they
Right.
have like seafood and like fish dishes?
They did.
Yeah.
And they also had, I always say this wrong, so you're going to laugh at me. Cacio e Pepe.
Cacio de Pepe.
Yeah. It was amazing.
Yeah.
Holy, I had no words for it because
For
it
what?
was so good. Go ahead,
Cacio
Anthony, say it.
Pepe.
What is it?
Cacio Pepe.
Oh, cacio pepe, sure.
Do you know what that is?
Yeah, it's a pasta with a lot of peppers and shit in it.
Pepper and egg. It's
Yeah.
made with egg
Yeah,
mostly.
very
Yeah.
good.
Oh, so good. So,
That's good stuff.
here's the thing. One thing I will say. Everybody in Florida has a dog, and they bring it with them all over. Example, the hotel, Hard Rock Hotel. Almost everybody had a dog with them. It was the weirdest thing. I was like,
That's awesome.
did we get the memo? Like, oh, hello? And then in Miami too. Everybody has dogs. So,
Love it.
Did you ever say what happened to Paul Wesley? I forgot.
Did he
Oh,
get eaten
I
by
just
the
saw
manatee?
him. Like I said, I was trying to figure out, like, okay, so last time this happened, bear with me. We were in the Bahamas. We're eating at this breakfast place. And I see this guy and I say, I know him from someplace. He's famous. Husband goes, yeah, okay. Okay. I'm telling you, I know him from someplace. I can't put my finger on it. Right. And he's like, okay. So I take a picture of the guy, right?
Stalker.
Without him seeing it. And my friends who were with us, they were like, okay, Janine. 8 months go by. I see the guy on TV. And I'm like, I tell my friend, turn on channel 7. Hurry up, turn it on. That's him. That's the guy from the breakfast place. And she's like, fuck, you're right. It's
Who was
him.
it?
He's the guy. He is like a producer, but before he was with the Eurythmics. Is that I'm saying it
The
right?
Eurythmics.
Euryth-
Dave
yeah.
Stewart.
Yep.
Yeah, we talked about this. Dave Stewart.
So I was like, oh my God, if this happens again, I'm going to be really pissed off. So when I saw this guy in the water, I was like, the fuck do I know him from? I know him from someplace. Okay. And then I found out who it was. And I was like, okay. But it turns out he was there. I don't think he was actually there for Formula One specifically. He was there because he's going to have his bourbon at Nobu restaurant.
Wow, you probably had to search really long and hard to
Oh,
find
you
that
know.
out because that seems like something only 6 people know.
Good Lord. I'm surprised you recognized the least popular pair of the Eurythmics.
I don't know. I don't know how I knew who. I don't know.
Anyway.
Yeah, I'm surprised because it's not like that's a household face.
No.
I know. But I'm telling you, if I see
You recognized him from the Eurythmics or you recognized him from like TV or something?
I knew he was in music, but I did not know. I couldn't place him.
Gotcha.
So.
All right.
I missed the comment, but Court McQuire said he ran into Ben Shapiro in Florida too.
Oh, really? Okay.
Yeah.
That's a good one to run into.
Why?
That is a good one.
Why?
There it is. I saw and said hi to Ben Shapiro yesterday in Delray Beach. How close is Delray Beach to where you were?
Wait, he's saying that like this literally just happened to him?
That's what he said.
No? Oh, that's
are you calling Court McQuire a liar?
Maybe. Delray Beach is north, and maybe it's like an hour or so north. Not too far. I've already checked it out because me and my husband decided we want to move there. So.
All right, that's it. You know, every vacation that anybody goes on, you immediately in the first like day are like,
why are we living here?
Should we move here? Feels like we should. Yeah.
Yeah, because you're on vacation. You don't have a job there. You don't have a life there. It's nice for the vacation, but then you got to settle down and make, plant roots.
Oh, that beach though. Husband's like, what would you want to do here? And I'm like, fucking work at Margaritaville on the beach. What are you kidding me?
It's like exactly my dream to work at Cheers.
Yeah, right. Come on.
I'm moving to Boston. You're moving to Florida.
Your love for Cheers is ridiculous. We never really recapped
Only
that.
because it's a real place now.
That's absurd.
Where everybody knows your name.
Wait, where was the better beach, Miami or Hollywood?
Hollywood.
Hollywood was nicer. Now, why is that? Because just the water was nice. I don't understand.
The water was clearer. Miami Beach was still very clear, but it was just slightly bluer in Hollywood, and then there wasn't as many people. But you still never felt like you were on top of anyone, if that makes sense. Like, when you go to the beach on Long Island and you just feel like, oh, why do you have to sit down right next to me?
Yeah.
There was none of that.
That's what Virginia Beach was like. We got to Virginia Beach and we like set everything up. We're like, this is great. The water's nice. Like we're right here. It's beautiful. And then by 2:30, you're like, where the fuck did all these people come from?
Oh, really?
Yeah, it was insanely busy. It was like ridiculous.
I'm surprised because in Hollywood, it did not get like that at all. And we were there from like 12 o'clock to like 5 o'clock. That's weird.
So why is our friendship falling apart? What's happening?
Because we were talking about before the show, you tried to organize an Atlantic City trip.
Wait,
and it completely
what friendship?
Thank you. That's what I told him. I go, our friendship is over.
Wait, did you ever go to AC?
No, he didn't go.
Why not? What about your fucking brother? I'm sorry.
Because we're not friends anymore.
Well, then if we're not friends because of that, we're not friends because of the Batman thing and anything we put together. I don't know if that's the measurement of friendship.
15 years ago, if somebody said, I'm going to Atlantic City.
Yeah, I know.
That would have been done.
Mm-hmm.
There would immediately be 12 other people ready. Let me tell you.
15 years ago, you don't have any nobody has any responsibilities. So you're not tied down to, you don't have to, I don't have to get other people to change their whole lives around to go to, like, say, 15, 20 years ago. 15, 20 years ago, we didn't have lives to change, to rearrange, to do. We could just pick up and go. But now I have to ask people with kids. I have to ask people that, going on vacation anyway, or people.
Did you hear his tone of voice with the kids thing just then? Like he's like,
Frank, I want to let you know, if I was here, I would have went with you.
Bull crap.
I would have, but also I do want to mention this, and I'm really, really, really sorry.
House for poker.
I'm really sorry to tell you this.
What?
You're not fun to be around. Oh,
I won at the Hard Rock.
That's great. What did you play?
Boy, was I wrong. I thought you were going to tell me he wasn't fun to be around.
No.
Hey.
I never play penny machines because I think they're a waste of time. I said, let me just play this.
Okay, can I just tell you something? This is why you're not allowed to come to cards, because of that sentence right there.
I know. I was like, a penny machine. All right, fine, whatever. The lights on top sparked me, and I was like, ooh, okay. $900 later.
Get the hell out of here, you.
Swear to God.
On a penny slot?
Yep.
$900. What the hell?
Did you have to knock over an old lady to get a seat?
No.
I'm sitting there playing blackjack for 2 hours. I make like $20. You're sitting there. How long were you playing?
Maybe 10 minutes, not even.
All right.
Did you get a free $10 to play with in the AARP magazine that you had with you?
To tell you the truth, there wasn't a lot of old people there. There's more old people in Atlantic City. But also they have good concerts and people to come do comedy and shit at this Hard Rock.
No, it's a big huge thing.
I didn't know that. You knew that?
Next month they're getting Dave Stewart from the Eurythmics. It's going to be huge.
Nice.
It's going to be big.
No, they had
callback, folks.
They had you guys definitely don't know who they are, but it's a reggaeton band. They're called Weezen and Yandel. They're big. They used to be big years ago. So they had a big concert there Thursday night, and then Friday night Jonas Brothers were going to be there.
Ooh.
That's huge.
And then that is pretty big. And then
was Nick going to be there?
Yeah.
Cuz he's doing his own thing now.
No, they all were there cuz I saw
them.
They
all go together now?
Chris, no, what's his name? What's the short one who always is mad?
I don't know.
Comic. What's his name? Kevin Hart. He is going to
always
be there
mad.
too. Yeah, he's always mad.
Anyway.
Shit, I kind of want to go to this place. You're the
I-
second person. Now, did you go there because our other friends went there, or no? This was
Who's our other friends?
No, she went there because her
Yep.
roommate had work down there.
your brother. No, I know that was the point of the trip, but was it in this? I thought he was in Miami for that reason.
He had to go to like 3 or 4 different spots in South Florida,
Oh,
and he was going to be in Fort Lauderdale. So I saw the Hard Rock Hotel, and I was like, I wonder if like that one is connected to the one in AC. Let me see if I get like a free room. I doubt it. And then when I called, the lady's like, yeah, you get a free room. I was like, what?
Nice.
Sold. She's like, oh, Janine, yes, okay, we know who you are.
did she then tell you about all the penny slots and the free buffet?
No.
Okay.
Here's one thing though. Did not know this, and I don't know how it is in Vegas. If you are gambling, you have to pay for your drink.
That's bullshit.
I think that's new. It wasn't like that in the
In-
past.
In
That's some
Florida,
crap.
in AC, you still don't have to pay for your drinks, but there you do. You knew someone else who stayed at the Hard Rock though?
Yeah, your
Ann?
brother-in-law and your sister-in-law, I guess.
No, they didn't stay there.
Yes, they did.
They stayed at a different place.
I thought that's where they stayed when Aunt and Liz went to the thing.
They
No,
went to Soft Rock.
they stayed.
I didn't think that was going to get any laugh. I'm sitting there going,
Probably-
"Did I say it?" All right,
probably
I'll say
for
it.
her. Too bad for her. She had to say she stayed at the Soft Rock.
Oh,
Yeah, right. All right.
Hopefully
Well,
that's not
anything
what
else
she said.
happened on the trip, or was that it? Was that the whole thing?
That was it.
That's a good trip, though.
That is a good trip.
Look at you
I
staying
know. I
to
want
the
to go
end.
back.
What's keeping you here? Nobody here likes you.
I know. I'm just gonna
you-
fucking go. That's it.
you
You
should
could do a
just go.
podcast from down there. That's nothing wrong with that.
Be happy. You deserve it.
I know. I do deserve it. Fucking.
By
I'm
the
gonna
way,
go.
in 15 seconds or less, how great was it being without children
Oh
for
my
like
god, it was so amazing. Oh my god, today I said to them, I'm just gonna move to Florida without you guys.
A little
Become
truth
a
behind
grandma.
that. Little truth behind that.
they
like-
felt it too, Frank. They felt it. They don't know how to identify that feeling yet because they're so young.
Yeah, but
Right.
that'll come up with a therapist later in life.
Yeah, for sure. It all goes back to that trip to Florida my mom took when she screamed at me on my way back. They're gonna have their Tony Soprano moment for sure.
Oh,
All right, that's it for us. Make sure you become a member. Join with the link in the description below or the link at anthonyonair.com. That's it. We'll see you guys on the next episode.
Later.
Show me potato salad.
Special guest Paul Wesley will join us.
Maybe we should go now. Go ahead.